2 minutes till broadcast. One minute till broadcast. Thirty seconds till broadcast. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Begin transmission.
Fighting for freedom every day.
Let me tell you, the response to the show has been absolutely amazing. People can't believe that a young conservative millennial continues to fight for constitutional principles, traditional values, and talks about issues that some are even afraid to talk about. But we do it because we understand the importance of this. And now we're seeing it absolutely blow up all across the nation.
This is the Voice of Reason with Andy Hooser.
I knew it. We called it one of these days that the young generations would finally begin to catch up with us. You know, sometimes you have to reinvent the wheel in order to understand things. I'm one of those. I'll personally admit it. I will be the first to exclaim that sometimes, even when your parents or your grandparents or the elders say, don't do that, you're going to burn your hand on the hot surface, you still have to put your hand on it just to feel it. Be like, I kind of need to experience this a little bit. Even when they say, don't do it. Or they say, hey, maybe you should. And you're like, I don't want to. And then later on, you end up doing it anyway. Sometimes you just have to learn for yourself. Sometimes you just have to experience the world on your own. No more helicopter parenting. No more, what is it? What's the other one called? The snowplow parenting? Something like that, where not only do they like put you in the bubble and make you live that way, but they're the ones that'll call your boss at work and be like, how's little Billy doing? Now, little Billy's like 40 years old and working now, but they're still like, how's little Billy doing? I heard that there were some mean people at his work. You might want to keep an eye out for him. I heard that you put a daunting task on him. You know, he was really upset. His cat got sick. You just need to give him a little more time to get that project done. Hey, welcome into the show. We have a lot to get to today. Broadcasting live out of the heart of the nation here in Wichita, Kansas, on the flagship station here all over the country on radio, TV, live streaming, and podcasting. We are everywhere. Social media on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, Twitter, Twitch, LinkedIn, also on Parler.com and Minds.com as well. We do have the website up at HooserReason.com. The live streaming is on there as well. It's crazy. So as we put these streaming on a lot of these different sites and with the video stream, so that way anybody can watch it. They can watch it nicely. It's easy to get to. You can have the podcast downloaded. Super easy. And I've noticed that since we started the Parler, and there's been a mass exodus off of Twitter and Facebook onto Parler, that we're still not up to like where we have our numbers on Facebook or Twitter, but we're getting there. And you can find us at Hooser Reason. No I in Hooser, Hooser Reason. You can find us on Parler.com. We do have it there. We do have the live stream on there. We post some other stuff on there as well. In fact, I'm finding lots of good tidbits of information on Parler than I am anywhere else, obviously, which is why we're going there. And I've realized it already, though, I have way less followers on Parler than I do on the other sites, but yet my views on the page and on the show and on the live stream are just about as much, if not higher, than on the other sites. So kudos to that. And if you're watching on there, we appreciate it. We're also on Podbean Live. We have the podcast and, of course, our radio and TV affiliates, no matter where you may be. The reason I bring up you got to kind of learn it yourself, reinvent the wheel. There was now, I don't have TikTok. That's the one social media that I don't have. I don't know anything about TikTok. I don't follow it. I don't care for it. I thought it was banned, for crying out loud, but apparently not. There is a post going around social media right now that there is a challenge on TikTok to have young individuals try to write your name without raising your pen. Now, when I was growing up, that was called cursive. I'm serious. Isn't it not called cursive? Let's try that again. That was called cursive. Hey, there we go. And the post, according to the meme, says, just saw a TikTok challenge of, quote, try to write your name without raising your pen. Congrats, Generation Z. You've discovered cursive. I mean, now look, I know that most young individuals don't know how to do that. My brother is 7 years younger than me. He does not know how to write cursive. He does not have a signature. He writes his name in non-cursive. He prints his name. That's his signature, is he prints his name. And I'm like, what are you doing, dude? And he's got a way more prestigious job than I do, as he's an engineer, does something with like Lockheed Martin and works for the energy department and does, I don't even know what he does. He won't tell me. I try to be like, hey, come on, buddy. I'm like in the media. I'm conservative talk show host. You need to kind of leak in some information to me. He's like, Andy, I can't. He works there. He does not have a cursive signature. And he's 7 years younger than me. Somehow the education system has been so manipulated and so warped that within a 7-year period, you went from signing cursive and actually learning how to write cursive. I remember in the fourth grade, writing cursive and learning it. You learn the alphabet, and while you're learning the alphabet, you learn cursive at the same time. Here's how you do the print A. Here's how you do the cursive A. I remember that. Apparently, they don't do that anymore. Really weird. But now there's a challenge on TikTok to try and make you write your name without raising your pen as a gag. Wow, we got a lot to get to. Coming up at the bottom of the hour, we're going to be talking with someone from LonoLife. They are a group that talks about different health things, different recipes, different products that they offer when it comes to the health kick to try and get into flu season, also coronavirus season, because that's apparently what we're in. Although, when Joe Biden becomes president, then he's going to cure cancer and to cure the coronavirus, right? That's obviously what's going to happen. That's obviously what's going to happen. I'm serious. That's what they're talking about. I mean, he said it back in January when he was campaigning. He would cure cancer. Now he's saying he's going to cure the coronavirus. In fact, he's already created his coronavirus task force. Now, he's not even president yet, but yet he's going to cure the coronavirus with a coronavirus task force, a 13-member task force that's going to start focusing on it during his whole presidential elected transition into power. The crazy part about it was that he was actually in front of a screen. He did I don't know, was it today, yesterday? He did a nice little panel discussion. He was up there, he's speaking, took some questions. Behind him was the banner that said, the office of the president-elect. Now, I was not aware that there was an office of the president-elect. Kind of bothers me. But someone asked him a question at the Office of the President-elect conference when he was talking about the coronavirus, and this is what they had to say.
What do you say to the Americans that are anxious over the fact that President Trump has yet to concede and what that might mean for the country?
Well, I just think it's an embarrassment, quite frankly. The only thing that, how can I say this tactfully? I think it will not help the president's legacy. I think that I know from my discussions with foreign leaders thus far that they are hopeful that the United States democratic institutions are viewed once again as being strong and enduring. And but I think at the end of the day, it's all going to come to fruition on January 20th. And between now and then, my hope and expectation is that the American people do know and do understand that there has been a transition.
Is he done speaking yet? This is the guy that created the most amount of votes in presidential history, the energy behind the Joe Biden administration. This was the guy that rallied more people than Donald Trump, who got 30,000 people at campaign rallies. This is the guy that broke shattered records all over the country for the most amount of people voting for him in U.S. presidential election history. Joe Biden, give me a break. Now, the question, how are you going to win over these Republicans that don't see you as a legitimate president? Well, they're just going to have to accept the fact that there's a transition of power. And, once we get through December or January 20th and we go through the inauguration, he's talking as if it's all done. Now, the last I saw, President Donald Trump has been tweeting over the last day or so saying that, we have massive amounts of evidence of voter fraud. We are going to release more information next week. Right as we were going on the air yesterday, they held a press conference with Kayleigh McEnany talking about the voter fraud that was going on, while the media, the ridiculous, stupid, partisan, blinded, ignorant fools of the media that they are, while she said, look at this, there are dead people that voted, proof of dead people that voted. We have like 130, 140 different affidavits from people who are whistleblowers being talking about what they were told to do as precinct workers with backdating ballots. That's actually legit, and we're looking into these. Whether it changes the election results or not, there's massive voter fraud going on, and we need to address it. And the media, don't you think president's a sore loser? Those are the questions that were asked at the end of the press conference last night. Then we see, according to Real Clear Politics, which is a mainstream media source, why no one else is covering this, I don't really know. Real Clear Politics backed off on their decision to claim Joe Biden the victor for Arizona and Pennsylvania. They're gone. So now he's below the 270. He's no longer president-elect anymore, according to the media experts on Real Clear Politics. Now, you got to remember how the process works is every media outlet has their own experts that make their claims. So it's president-elect confirmation only by that certain media network, media outlet. That's it. That's it. Until December 14th, when the Electoral College actually officially votes. So the only thing that's official right now is the officialness of the media network that you're looking at. And Real Clear Politics, which is a mainstream media source, pulled their votes, the Electoral College votes from their projections from Joe Biden in the states of Pennsylvania and Arizona. So now those are back up for grabs because it's too close to call, and they withdrew it, which means he's back down into the 260s, according to Real Clear Politics. Then I see, and this is not confirmed, but according to the Gateway Pundit, which is a conservative site, but it's still somewhat mainstream, it's not conspiratorial in any way, shape, or form. According to their articles, they're saying that they saw a software glitch not only in the state of Michigan now when it comes to voting machines, but also in the state of Wisconsin, where it was like 16 or 17,000 ballots that flipped with this software error from Donald Trump to Joe Biden. Guess what? If that is true and you flip them back, Donald Trump wins the state of Wisconsin, which is another Electoral College votes that goes away from Joe Biden and goes to Donald Trump. Now, I don't know, again, if that's legit. I don't want to be spreading misinformation here, so take that one with a grain of salt. It has not been confirmed yet, but that's what I've seen. But let's think about this for just a second. We have Pennsylvania now up in the air that states are starting, or that media pundits are starting to take away from Biden. We have Arizona being taken away from Biden. We're still up in the air in Georgia right now. We just got called for North Carolina for both the Senate race and for the presidency for Donald Trump. We have computer glitches and fraudulent votes in Michigan. We have a potential voter software glitch in the state of Wisconsin that could flip it to Donald Trump. Every one of the swing votes could potentially be going to him here in the next week. At the same time, Donald Trump's tweeting that says, oh, hey, we have really big news. We're going to release all of this next week to the public. We presented our Supreme Court case yesterday. We have four different FBI investigations going on right now. AG Barr set some DOJ people to do some investigations, and they need theirs done by December 4th. This is so far from being over, isn't it? And what do we have here? Joe Biden standing up on a pedestal with a banner behind him saying, Office of the President-elect. It's already done. It's over. The media is over this story, baby. They want to move on. Here's the crazy part. The lady that asked him, how are you going to win over Republicans, asked it again.
And just to follow up on a previous question, how do you expect to work with Republicans if they won't even acknowledge you as president-elect?
They will. They will.
All right. How are we going to win them over? How are you going to make sure that they see you as the president? Oh, they will. Yeah, they will. All right. Glad you're so confident. At the same time, then we had Secretary of State Mike Pompeo make a statement today as well that is causing some controversy.
There will be a smooth transition to a second Trump administration.
Now, he's partisan. He's obviously Republican. He's conservative. He's a great guy. He's right here from the state of Kansas. I've interviewed him many times when he was our congressman right here in the 4th District before Ron Estes was. He's a wonderful individual. He was the CIA director. Now he's the Secretary of State under President Donald Trump. A comment like that is kind of interesting from a Secretary of State. He's partisan. At the same time, he's doing a press conference talking about Secretary of State business, international business, relations that we're having with other nations right now. They ask him about the elections, and he says something like that.
There will be a smooth transition to a second Trump administration.
To me, that's kind of interesting. I don't know what to take away from a comment like that. Maybe that's just kind of joking, and he laughed, and he kind of went on with it, which we'll play when we come back from the break. But I thought that was kind of an interesting statement. Is that a sign? Do they know something deeper in with the investigations that are on? Obviously, they have a little bit deeper understanding of some of the investigations that are ongoing right now. But if they do, then what are we missing here? What's going on? Because he seems pretty confident. As a Secretary of State for the United States to say something like that, even though in a joking manner, kind of raises some eyebrows. The media is having a heyday with it. Oh, Mike Pompeo, Secretary of State, believes in conspiracy theories, believes that there's widespread voter fraud, believes that there's no evidence of it, but yet he believes in it. All right.
The Voice of Reason with Andy Hooser.
Hey, it's Andy Hooser with the Voice of Reason. Fighting for conservative principles seems more difficult all the time. The progressive left seems to find new and creative ways to limit freedom, abuse power, and trample the Constitution each and every day. That's why we need the knowledge, resources, and common sense to push back, and we can help with that. Visit our website at HooserReason.com. There's some really great stuff for you. You can read the latest blog discussing topical issues and current events. Let us know your thoughts by filling out our monthly survey. Keep track of what I might be doing or where I may be speaking. Listen to the podcast of your favorite guest or show, and check out our latest Voice of Reason product infomercials. Plus, you can find upcoming show schedules and guest lineups to plan your radio listening appropriately. And finally, make sure to become a Hoosier-holic by subscribing to the free newsletter. Stay up to date on the latest news of the show, fun facts of the month, and learn new ways to defend and preserve this great republic. It's all there at HooserReason.com. Again, HooserReason.com. Go check it out. Why? Because it's kind of the reasonable thing to do. Hey, it's Andy Hooser. Want to reach out to the show? A big part of the program is you, and we want to hear from you. Let us know your thoughts of the show, maybe a guest we've had on the program, or my favorite, when you disagree with something that I talk about. You can email me at HooserMediaNetwork@gmail.com or send us a message through our website at HooserReason.com. The show's not about me, it's about you. So be heard and be your own voice of reason. Again, email me at HooserMediaNetwork@gmail.com or find our contact information at HooserReason.com. Miss part of the show? Don't worry about it. There's plenty of ways to catch the program, and here's how you can do it. First, make sure to tune in every day right here on your favorite radio station. We're here for you. Second, subscribe to the podcast on any of your favorite sites. YouTube and iTunes, Spotify and Google Play, TuneIn, Podbean, and more. Have the show automatically downloaded to your favorite device. Last, visit our website at HooserReason.com. You can listen to the podcast, catch our special features, and more. It's the Voice of Reason on radio, TV, and online, helping you defend and preserve this great republic. Hey, it's Andy Hooser with the Voice of Reason. The show's growing all the time, and as we talk about the big issues of the day, one of the big parts of the program is you. And I want you to join us on the program. Whether you agree, disagree, or just want to relieve some of that political frustration, we're here for you. No matter where you may be watching, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, go ahead and leave a comment on the live stream. Chat with other listeners and let me know your thoughts on the topic. Also chat with us on the Podbean chat room. Just go to our live stream of the show at podbean.com and chat with other listeners. You can also call into the program. Just download the Podbean app onto your smartphone, join the live stream, and call in through the app. This is your show, and we want to hear your thoughts. So go ahead and join us here on the Voice of Reason and the Hooser Media Network. Hey, miss a show? Don't worry about it. You have plenty of opportunities to watch, listen, learn, and be entertained with the Voice of Reason anytime you want. And here's how you can do it. First, become a Hoosier-holic by going to HooserReason.com and signing up for the show newsletter to get the latest on the show, upcoming guests, topical discussions, and more. Next, subscribe to the podcast and have the show automatically downloaded to any platform you like to use. You can subscribe to any of your favorite platforms with iTunes and Spotify, Google Play and TuneIn, or you can also go and subscribe directly to our Podbean website. Last, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Just go to youtube.com, search Hooser Reason, and subscribe to watch all of our shows, videos, and get notified whenever we're live. All the links and info are at HooserReason.com. For a schedule of upcoming guests on the program, daily show topics, or to reach out to the Hooser Media Network, visit us on the website at HooserReason.com. Or for general inquiries, to be a guest on the program, or to have Andy a guest on your program, email us at HooserMediaNetwork@gmail.com. Keep fighting for freedom with us every day right here on the Voice of Reason and the Hooser Media Network. Now, back to the show.
You're listening to the Voice of Reason with Andy Hooser.
There will be a smooth transition to a second Trump administration. Right? We're ready. The world is watching what's taking place here. We're going to count all the votes. When the process is complete, there'll be electors selected. There's a process. The Constitution lays it out pretty clearly. The world should have every confidence that the transition necessary to make sure that the State Department is functional today, successful today, and successful with the president who's in office on January 20th, a mid-afternoon, will also be successful.
All right, so that's the comment that Mike Pompeo made, Secretary of State, just was it today or yesterday? He made the comment talking about the transition to the new administration. We're going to be ready. We're the Secretary of State's department. That's what we do. We're here to do our job. It doesn't really matter who's in office. It doesn't matter what's going on. We are here to do our thing. And so you can talk about the election all you want to. I've been on the election side of it. I've been a congressman. I understand it. But at the same time, we're here. We're going to be doing the transition however we need to. But
there will be a smooth transition to a second Trump administration.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Let's put on the conspiracy theory hat for just a second. Do you think he knows? Do you think he knows something is going on inside? Or do you think that it's just speculation and just maybe a gag? I mean, it's weird for a Secretary of State to make a comment like that. So maybe he's onto something here. I don't know. We have a tweet from Donald Trump that says that massive information's coming out next week. We had the court filings over the last week or so here. We have the Supreme Court presentation yesterday that happened. All of it needs to be done by December 14th. So we are just over a month away until this all needs to come to fruition and we can understand exactly what's going to happen with this election. It's going to be a very strange, interesting couple of weeks, and I know you're excited about it. I'm excited about it, but the weird thing is that, I don't know, there's just some weird shenanigans actually going on. Now, here's the other part that's kind of concerning and disturbing is the media and the Democrats are concerned if Donald Trump does lose. Let's just say Donald Trump loses. He actually goes into the private life again. He disappears from the White House. What's he going to do after that? The media, very concerned about Donald Trump revealing secrets of officials in Washington, D.C. Oh, yes, they're concerned because he's going to be angry. He's going to be bitter. He's that old, angry white guy. He's that old, angry, rich white guy, that evil capitalist business owner that has all this money, and they're going to be concerned that he's going to be revealing secrets from the agencies and from the bureaucracy inside, the inner workings of how government goes. They are concerned that he could reveal those secrets. According to Crone.com, as President Donald Trump selectively revealed highly classified information to attack his adversaries, gain political advantage, and to impress or intimidate foreign governments, in some cases jeopardizing U.S. intelligence capabilities. As an ex-president, there's every reason and every worry he'll do the same, thus purposing a unique national security dilemma for the Biden administration, current and former officials, and analysts. All right, first off, I don't know of any secrets that he's actually revealed other than things that he needed to reveal because they were, I don't know, illegal or they shouldn't have been doing it. I mean, are they trying to talk about the Biden laptop here? Is that what they're talking about? Oh, he's revealing secrets. Yeah, because they're not supposed to happen. But according to that, this is the way we work, baby. This is what we do. This is why they were so desperate to get him out. This is just the way we operate. Why would you be revealing those kind of secrets, man? Come on, just get with the system. Get with the game. But if that is a concern, are you concerned anything could happen to President Donald Trump afterwards? I mean, I'm not putting on the conspiracy hat here and saying they're going to try and, take him out or put a hit on him or something. I'm not saying that. What I am saying, though, is that they're concerned that he could potentially be leaking secrets from the government because he's not a politician. He doesn't like the government system, and the system obviously is against the American people and him, and they're worried that he knows too much and that he's going to let too much of it out into the general public. If he does, is that a concern? I know that the Biden administration, quote-unquote, if that's what you want to call it right now, they've talked about actually trying to prosecute him for I don't know what, for colluding with Russia still because they set it up and they don't want to do that. Or I don't know what they want. They want to prosecute him, though. and they have lawsuits waiting when he becomes a private citizen to go after him. I don't know what they can go after him for, but is that why? Just to try and silence him, put him in jail, lock him up, and never let him speak to the people again because they're so desperate to keep their secrets of the inner workings of D.C.
The Voice of Reason with Andy Hooser.
Hey, it's Andy Hooser. While you listen to the delightful broadcast of The Voice of Reason, don't forget to check us out and follow us on all of our social media sites. Whether you're using Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Minds.com, or Instagram, we're there for you. Find us at Hooser Reason on any of your social media platforms. You'll see special commentary, links to the articles and news that we use on the show, and videos of the broadcast. Plus, you can directly send us a message on social media during the show to let me know your thoughts. Many already do, and it's a great chat room for all of our great listeners. And you can always sign up for the Patreon site to get exclusive content, maybe hear show products before we air them on the radio, and a lot more. And when you support us on Patreon, you also help the show be able to fight for conservative values each and every day. So it's a win-win. Just find us at Hooser Reason on all of your social media platforms, or you can find a link to all of our social media sites on our website at HooserReason.com. We know you're on social media already, so bring some reason into your day. Why? Because it's kind of the reasonable thing to do.
The Hooser Media Network is way more than just the voice of reason. It's your source to find numerous different online talk shows, podcasts, TV, and radio programs, all in one simple online location for you. From political talk to health talk to whatever you may be interested in, we're here for you. And I tell you, it's growing every day. Catch Tracy Maxfield with her podcast, Engage, Educate, and Empower, discussing mental health issues in children and teenagers. From bullying, teenage suicide, addiction, ADHD, and so much more, learn from Tracy and her guests about symptoms, signs, and ways to talk to your children, plus so much more. Having battled depression, being the author of the internationally acclaimed book, Escaping the Rabbit Hole, and being a retired nurse, Tracy is kind of the go-to on the subject. Make sure to find her on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, along with her website at tracymaxfield.com. Also, make sure to tune into the weekly podcast Jump, Pivot, and Roll with Shannon Stiles and Rachel Murphy. Taking that next big leap of faith is hard. Trying to write a book, maybe struggling with a relationship, looking to take that next big career step. What's stopping you? There's a lot of big questions there, and they're questions that Rachel and Shannon want to help with you each and every week. It's Jump, Pivot, and Roll on any of your favorite podcasting sites and on Facebook and YouTube. All of these shows and a heck of a lot more can be found on the Hooser Media Network Facebook and YouTube channels. Make sure to follow and subscribe to check them out today. Follow all the shows, and if you have any inquiries, check us out at HooserMediaNetwork@gmail.com. Hey, miss a show? Don't worry about it. You have plenty of opportunities to watch, listen, learn, and be entertained with the Voice of Reason anytime you want. And here's how you can do it. First, become a Hooserholic by going to HooserReason.com and signing up for the show newsletter to get the latest on the show, upcoming guests, topical discussions, and more. Next, subscribe to the podcast and have the show automatically downloaded to any platform you like to use. You can subscribe through any of your favorite platforms with iTunes and Spotify, Google Play and TuneIn, or you can also go and subscribe directly to our Podbean website. Last, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Just go to youtube.com, search Hooser Reason, and subscribe to watch all of our shows, videos, and get notified whenever we're live. All the links and info are at HooserReason.com. Oh, hi. You know, conservative messages now are more important than ever before. Election season, state legislative issues, and a rise in the radical left socialist progressive agenda. What we really need now more than ever before is knowledge and wisdom. That's where we come in. Hi, I'm Andy Hooser with the Voice of Reason, and I'm your voice for reasonable talk, conservative commentary, great guests and entertainment on radio, TV, and the internet. It's time to bring some common sense back into the discussion. National issues, state legislative issues, no matter where you may be, upcoming elections, and a heck of a lot more, we can bring traditional values, constitutional principles, and local activism back. And here's what you can do. First, follow us on all the social media platforms at Hooser Reason. You can watch the live stream of the show, leave comments, and even call into the program. Second, make sure to subscribe to the podcast on all of your audio devices, from iTunes and Spotify to Google Play and TuneIn. Make sure to subscribe to have every episode automatically downloaded so you don't miss a single episode. Third, make sure to visit our website at HooserReason.com. You can catch our monthly blog talking about deeper discussions, see who's coming on the program, plus you can sign up for our free monthly newsletter to catch the latest on the show, monthly topics, upcoming interviews, and more. It's time to be that local activist again. That's what the Voice of Reason's all about. Why? Because that's kind of the reasonable thing to do. And it's time for you to speak up, speak out, speak loud, speak proud, speak the truth, and always speak some reason.
Hey, it's Andy Hooser with the Voice of Reason. The show's growing all the time, and as we talk about the big issues of the day, one of the big parts of the program is you. And I want you to join us on the program. Whether you agree, disagree, or just want to relieve some of that political frustration, we're here for you. No matter where you may be watching, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, go ahead and leave a comment on the live stream. Chat with other listeners and let me know your thoughts on the topic. Also chat with us on the Podbean chat room. Just go to our live stream of the show at podbean.com and chat with other listeners. You can also call into the program. Just download the Podbean app onto your smartphone, join the live stream, and call in through the app. This is your show, and we want to hear your thoughts. So go ahead and join us here on the Voice of Reason and the Hooser Media Network.
When Reason Meets Radio. You're listening to the Voice of Reason with Andy Hooser.
You're darn right you are. Welcome back into the program. No matter where you may be watching or listening to the program, radio, TV, live streaming, podcasting, doesn't matter where you're at. Thanks for hanging out with us today on a post-Monday celebration, the greatest day of the entire week. I cannot believe the show's already half over today. It goes by way too many things to cover, especially when you have something like...
And just to follow up on a previous question, how do you expect to work with Republicans if they won't even acknowledge you as president-elect?
They will. They will.
Oh, they will. Oh, they will. And then you get Mike Pompeo.
There will be a smooth transition to a second Trump administration.
Oh, I love it. It's a crazy time in the world. It is. The 2020 is truly the year of absolute shenanigans. What do you think? No matter where you may be, radio, TV, live streaming, podcasting, thanks for hanging out with us today on The Voice of Reason, trying to cram that 10 pounds of reason into that 5-pound bag, trying to rebrand the Millennial Generation, one radio listener at a time, the Millennial General, reporting for duty today. Let's step away from politics for just a second. As you know, this year's kind of wild. It's a little bit weird, just a little bit. Just going to throw it out there. We have the virus out there. And so there's rumor that Pfizer may have the vaccine that is 90% successful in this virus. The question is, are you going to take something like that? Or do you go the more all-natural way? I'm one of those that I'm kind of skeptical of vaccines personally, and I'd like to just build myself up and be healthy my own way, like a natural, normal way, so that way you don't have to worry about that. But can you do that, and what are ways to do that? Because we have flu season that's like here right now, kids in school, well, kind of in school, many of them doing the virtual learning, but nonetheless, they're in school doing education to some degree. They're there, but it's flu season. The weather's getting colder all over the country, and we still have the virus, and many of the health experts are like, it's going to be a rough year. We have the flu and viruses all at the same time. Oh, man. So I figured we should talk a little bit about ways to build up your immunity. Make sure that you are prepared for whatever may happen. If electricity goes out, if you get sick, if there's a virus spread, if the flu actually hits, what do you do? How do you prepare yourself, and how can you build your immune system naturally just on a daily basis without actually have to take vaccines and rely on the government to take care of you? I'm excited to have on the program with LonoLife. You can visit them online at LonoLife. That's LonoLife.com. We have Donnelly hanging out with us here today. Donnelly, how are you, my friend?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
I am living the dream. I appreciate you coming on here very much. Let's talk about, first off, building up your immune system. You can actually do that naturally? That's a crazy, wild thought, isn't it?
Yeah, I actually, I'm with you. I prefer that. I prefer that my diet and my lifestyle really speaks to a healthier me. So I like to share this with my friends and family as much as I can.
We need to. I mean, we need to build up our immune system naturally. We need to make ourselves healthy, which I love people when they talk about the health kicks that we need to go on. And, we're coming up on the end of the year, which means we're going to have the New Year's resolutions where everybody wants to lose weight or get healthy again. So this is kind of the perfect time to talk about some of this. But with LonoLife, first off, let's talk about what kind of product you have. What is it, and how can it help you?
Yeah, so LonoLife is a high-protein bone broth So bone broth typically takes hours, sometimes 12 hours or more to make. So you're reducing the stock that you have with the ingredients that you have put in that stock, the bones, to really bring out the nutrients and the minerals that are in that bone marrow. What LonoLife does, what we get to do is we do that for shoppers, and we put it into sort of a powder packet that is similar to like what you might think of like the Crystal Light water packets, but it's bone broth. It's all the nutrients, all the ingredients are still in there, just convenient and easy, so you can really dump it into a hot cup of soup and a hot cup of water and be ready to go.
So it's the bone marrow that we need. Now how much do we usually take? Do we usually eat this just in different formats, or is it really difficult to actually get unless you're actually sitting there boiling different bones?
Yeah, it really is difficult to make on your own. So if you look up some recipes, you'll find some people really do it. They let it simmer for 12 hours, and so the more it reduces, the more intense your flavor is going to be. So that's sort of where you're going to want more of that time. But for lots of us, we just don't have that time. So that's where we come in.
How cool. I've never heard of something like this, and I was not aware that it was something that I actually needed or that could actually help my body. So what do you use it for? If you have it now with the powder, like you mentioned, it's very easy to use. What can you use this with?
So I love it in lots of my recipes. So even just roasted vegetables, just sprinkling some of our bone broth right on top. It's got a really robust, really intense flavor. So it's delicious. It's something that you can share pretty easily. And if you're not feeling well, if you're just feeling like you need a little bit of comfort food, dumping some, like I said, into a hot cup of water is just as easy as it gets. For me, too, I like to be outdoors, so I always have some shelf-stable ingredients on hand in my pantry, like freeze-dried vegetables. So a little bit of this bone broth with some freeze-dried vegetables in there is just sometimes just the little pick-me-up I need in the middle of the day.
How neat. Again, this is all new. I've never heard of something like this. Now, what kind of flavor does it have, or do you have different flavors of it?
We do. We have different flavors. So you'll find LonoLife in beef bone broth, we have chicken bone broth, and we have vegetable and cream of mushroom bone broth as well. And then in each of those varieties, we've got a couple flavors. Like you'll find some keto varieties for those of us that are looking for high protein, low carb, some high fat options. And then you'll also find some of these really, really amazing flavors like Thai curry and tomato beef. It's honestly, it's the perfect option if you're traveling, if you're on the go, if you're at home trying to look for an easy option.
Now, what does this do for the body when you ingest this? I mean, is it just an immune booster? Does it help with, as you mentioned, with certain kind of proteins? Does it help with other things in your body? What does it actually do for you?
So bone broth is thought to really, because it's so nutrient dense, it's thought to really support your immune system in a more holistic way. So yes, you'll find 10 grams of protein in there. You're going to find calcium. You'll find magnesium and potassium. And then phosphorus, all the minerals that are known to strengthen your bones. So really just being proactive with your health. And for anyone that's interested in sort of a holistic approach to beauty, there's also collagen that's in bone broth because, collagen is naturally found in bones and in bone marrow. So that's you'll also find it in something like bone broth.
How neat. Now talk about, by the way, we're talking with LonoLife, LonoLife.com. Donnelly on the line with us here from LonoLife. Talk about maybe a survival kit. If the power goes out, it gets extremely cold, or worst case scenario, something weird happens with the virus and things continue to progress that way with COVID. And we just need that quote unquote survival kit. Or you're camping and packing, as you mentioned. I mean, you like to be in the outdoors quite a bit and go camping. I haven't done it in a long time. I wish I could go hunting and camping more frequently, but you're out there. What are sort of the things that you need to pack in this bag? And is LonoLife one of those things you need to have with you?
Yeah, I'm always going to say LonoLife should be number one, but a little less self-serving. We were talking about this, a couple of friends and I, about the survival kit, because it really is sort of an idea that you don't necessarily think of when you're healthy and well and active and energetic. You don't necessarily think that you'll need something like a survival kit, but it is nice and comforting to kind of have it on hand. So the idea being that you have a bag that's kind of tucked in your closet. It might have something like bath salts, maybe some fresh blankets, handkerchiefs, honey, some warm socks, some lip balm, just all the stuff that will comfort you when you're kind of feeling under the weather, or maybe if you just need a little bit of comfort, if you just had a bad day, just something like that can be your go-to, something that's easy to reach for, you don't have to think about, and just kind of bring yourself a little bit of warmth like that.
Very cool. I love it. Real quick, LonoLife, talk about when you purchase this, when you get it. I mean, does it come in, how big of a package, and how can people get some of this stuff or get some more information on it at least?
Mm-hmm. So LonoLife comes in boxes. You'll find them in the aisle that you find your soup and other broths and other stocks in. But you're going to want to look for bone broth because that's really what's going to carry the nutrients. So look for LonoLife in small boxes, and in each box you'll find stick packs. So each stick pack has the powder that you'll dump into your recipes or into a cup of hot water, and it's real easy, really light. And so you can find us locally at Sprouts and also online at LonoLife.com and on Amazon.
Now, talk about real quickly a recipe as well. We got a minute and a half left or so here, and I went on your website looking at some of your recipes, and you didn't even mention you could put it in cocktails, so you won me over right there. But talk about a recipe or two of what you could use this with that may be really good for the holiday season.
Yeah, so you're right. We do have some fun cocktail recipes on there. So Bloody Mary is sort of a hearty cocktail. That's easy to bring it in. And then some recipes that I like to have on hand, one being our immune-supporting soup. So it's got, lots of really great ingredients in there, like garlic. I don't know about you, but my grandpa is one that lived by the immune-supporting benefits of garlic. And then It's also got some baby bok choy in there, some radish and kale. But some of these other recipes that we have on here are really, really simple. Sort of deceptively simple, and some of them are deceptively sweet. So we've also got a couple options with our collagen that you can add to right now. A seasonal recipe that we have up there right now is our pumpkin mug cake. That's a really great one, especially if you're looking for a single-serve dessert option so you don't go overboard. But all of these are simple and delicious and easy.
Yeah, no, I love it. LonoLife.com, LonoLife.com. You can go and check out the recipes. You can check out all the products, and getting all the nutrients you need to help boost that immune system, I think, is especially important right now as everybody's trying to do the health kick and understand how to prevent getting or trying to survive the coronavirus. Not saying that's a cure for it in any way, shape, or form, but at least boosting that immune system is always a positive way to actually do that. Donnelly, we appreciate the time very much. Great information.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah, absolutely. We appreciate the info. Again, real quick there, LonoLife.com. Some really interesting stuff. There's a reason we want to talk about this because, again, we're not just political talk. We want to actually try and boost you up, make you healthy, and actually be able to survive the shenanigans of the world that is 2020. So we appreciate that from Donnelly very much. LonoLife.com. We'll take a break. We got one more segment left wrapping up the show today. When we come back, we have some more interesting news when it comes to the elections, what states have been called or not called right now, plus divorce rates hitting an all-time high or low. We'll talk about that when we come back. It's the Voice of Reason. It's a post-Monday, not a pre-Friday. I wish it was a pre-Friday, a post-Monday celebration. All right, here on the show. Stay tuned.
The Hooser Media Network is way more than just the Voice of Reason. It's your source to find numerous different online talk shows, podcasts, TV, and radio programs, all in one simple online location for you. From political talk to health talk to whatever you may be interested in, we're here for you. And I tell you, it's growing every day.
Hey, it's Andy Hooser with the Voice of Reason. Fighting for conservative principles seems more difficult all the time. The progressive left seems to find new and creative ways to limit freedom, abuse power, and trample the Constitution each and every day. That's why we need the knowledge, resources, and common sense to push back, and we can help with that. Visit our website at HooserReason.com. There's some really great stuff for you. You can read the latest blog discussing topical issues and current events. Let us know your thoughts by filling out our monthly survey. Keep track of what I might be doing or where I may be speaking. Listen to the podcast of your favorite guest or show, and check out our latest Voice of Reason product infomercials. Plus, you can find upcoming show schedules and guest lineups to plan your radio listening appropriately. And finally,
trying to write a book, maybe struggling with a relationship, looking to take that next big career step. What's stopping you? There's a lot of big questions there, and they're questions that Rachel and Shannon want to help with you each and every week. It's Jump, Pivot, and Roll on any of your favorite podcasting sites and on Facebook and YouTube. All of these shows and a heck of a lot more can be found on the Hooser Media Network Facebook and YouTube channels. Make sure to follow and subscribe to check them out today. Follow all the shows, and if you have any inquiries, check us out at HooserMediaNetwork@gmail.com. Hey, miss a show? Don't worry about it. You have plenty of opportunities to watch, listen, learn, and be entertained with the Voice of Reason anytime you want. And here's how you can do it. First, become a Hooserholic by going to HooserReason.com and signing up for the show newsletter to get the latest on the show, upcoming guests, topical discussions, and more. Next, subscribe to the podcast and have the show automatically downloaded to any platform you like to use. You can subscribe through any of your favorite platforms with iTunes and Spotify, Google Play and TuneIn, or you can also go and subscribe directly to our Podbean website. Last, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Just go to youtube.com, search Hooser Reason, and subscribe to watch all of our shows, videos, and get notified whenever we're live. All the links and info are at HooserReason.com. Oh, hi. You know, conservative messages now are more important than ever before. Election season, state legislative issues, and a rise in the radical left socialist progressive agenda. What we really need now more than ever before is knowledge and wisdom. That's where we come in. Hi, I'm Andy Hooser with the Voice of Reason, and I'm your voice for reasonable talk, conservative commentary, great guests and entertainment on radio, TV, and the internet. It's time to bring some common sense back into the discussion. National issues, state legislative issues, no matter where you may be, upcoming elections, and a heck of a lot more, we can bring traditional values, constitutional principles, and local activism back. And here's what you can do. First, follow us on all the social media platforms at Hooser Reason. You can watch the live stream of the show, leave comments, and even call into the program. Second, make sure to subscribe to the podcast on all of your audio devices, from iTunes and Spotify to Google Play and TuneIn. Make sure to subscribe to have every episode automatically downloaded so you don't miss a single episode. Third, make sure to visit our website at HooserReason.com. You can catch our monthly blog talking about deeper discussions, see who's coming on the program, plus you can sign up for our free monthly newsletter to catch the latest on the show, monthly topics, upcoming interviews, and more. It's time to be that local activist again. That's what the Voice of Reason's all about. Why? Because that's kind of the reasonable thing to do. And it's time for you to speak up, speak out, speak loud, speak proud, speak the truth, and always speak some reason.
Hey, it's Andy Hooser with the Voice of Reason. The show's growing all the time, and as we talk about the big issues of the day, one of the big parts of the program is you. And I want you to join us on the program. Whether you agree, disagree, or just want to relieve some of that political frustration, we're here for you. No matter where you may be watching, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, go ahead and leave a comment on the live stream. Chat with other listeners and let me know your thoughts on the topic. Also chat with us on the Podbean chat room. Just go to our live stream of the show at podbean.com and chat with other listeners. You can also call into the program. Just download the Podbean app onto your smartphone, join the live stream, and call in through the app. This is your show, and we want to hear your thoughts. So go ahead and join us here on the Voice of Reason and the Hooser Media Network.
listening to the Voice of Reason with Andy Hooser.
You're darn right you are. Welcome back into the show. Last segment already. It goes by way too fast. Way too fast. We have way too much fun on the program. I don't care what anybody else says. We are by far the fastest radio show in the country. Radio, TV, live streaming, and podcasting. We are already in almost, I want to say 35 states for the month. 40 states for the month, and we're only like 10 days in, so that's awesome. We appreciate you very much. Thanks for listening to us, no matter where you may be, radio or TV or live streaming or podcasting. Let's see what's trending today. What do you say?
What's trending today?
All right, here it is. Oh, by the way, and real quickly, the reason we tried to do that health thing, kind of an interesting segment, a little offbeat from the politics, but I think most people are getting a little numb and glazing over with the politics. So we try to widen the margin, widen the umbrella just a little bit and have some fun. And you know what? What's wrong with building your immune system? Along with the Hooser Media Network that we're growing with the network-wide, with the different podcasts and different shows and growing the network and growing different things that way. We're also going to be doing some other really cool stuff when it comes to health things, and more information to come on that very soon. But we're working on the kind of the more natural, holistic health remedies as well. Not my side. It's more of Mrs. Voice of Reason's product on that. But stay tuned. A lot of information coming out soon, and we're going to have a lot of fun with it as well. So we're going to have some good stuff coming up for you here real soon. Let me tell you, it won't be no fried potatoes. Show of hands, anybody know the movie? Fried taters. Come on. Anybody know that one? Yeah, I'll let you think about that for a little bit. Here's what's trending for today. So the top Department of Justice's top voter fraud investigator steps down in protest after AG Bill Barr's memo authorizing election probes. So we have the Attorney General Bill Barr, who's been, you got to admit, a little bit slow on the draw on some of these things, kind of dragging just a little bit on some of the investigations. He's had information for a really long time, doesn't really do a whole lot with. I like AG Barr, but at the same time, he's a little slow on the draw at times. He just doesn't fire. I know he's one that likes to be very thorough and likes to make sure he's got all his, I's dotted and his T's crossed, but we need to get things going here. Joe Biden needs to be in prison, not running for the White House right now. We need Hillary Clinton not running away and hiding off in a bunker somewhere, but actually in prison right now. We need some things to actually happen because of the proof that we have, the evidence that we have. We need Hunter Biden to be rounded up and investigated right now and actually in jail for the accusations, not just for the stuff over in Ukraine or in China, but also with the pictures of children that are on his laptop that we have as well. I don't know why this is not happening. But AG Barr did authorize election probes and actually doing an investigation on some of the election stuff going on right now. And he said it needs to be done by December 4th because the Electoral College votes by December 14th. And when he did that, now we have the top voter fraud investigator with the DOJ just stepping down from his position. Why? He said it's in protest. I'm not going to justify the president's claims of nationwide voter fraud. I'm not going to do that. We're not going to allow that type of shenanigans to happen. I can't believe that you're even trying to play with this a little bit. Why are you even going along with this in any way, shape, or form? You just need to shut it down and just move on. Move along, sir. The problem is that if we have any fraud, again, even if it's 1%, 0.5%, and it wouldn't change this election, why are we not addressing this? Why are we not talking about this? Why are we not talking about voter registration lists in states that are completely outdated with people moving or people dying or whatever? I mean, I have to make a confession right here on the show. I lived in Ohio, till like the middle of this year, and I moved here. I have not deregistered in the state of Ohio, which means technically I'm still registered as a voter in the state of Ohio. Now, I did not vote in Ohio. I did not get a mail-in ballot from Ohio. I'm here in Kansas, and I'm a registered voter in Kansas, and I voted in Kansas. That's it. But their voter registration system is out of touch and out of date in Ohio because it still has me probably as a registered voter. And I know that's on me to call and actually get that undone, and I haven't even thought about it, and I didn't think about it. And most people don't. You don't move cross state or cross country out of state, and you're just like, oh, yeah, the first thing I need to do is unregister as a voter. You just don't. You get to it when you get to time, or some people forget altogether. So, of course, the voter registration is out of date. Now, I'm hoping that someone didn't vote under my name in Ohio for someone like Joe Biden just because they had the opportunity to do so. So there's shenanigans going on, and there are outdated voter registration lists on a state-by-state level. Why can't we clean those up, or at least work to clean those up, or at least do an audit to verify that things weren't any foul play going on? You would think that would be a common sense thing, but because we've opened up investigations, now we have the top voter fraud investigator with the Department of Justice stepping down in protest, quitting. Anything deeper you think going on there as well? Maybe he knew some of the stuff that was going on, been looking the other way. There's obviously been a lot of shenanigans over the last few years that he hasn't done anything with. And now he's stepping down. Maybe that just makes our job a little bit easier. By the way, he was the same guy that pushed as well for trying to have the IRS audit a lot more conservative organizations under the Obama administration as well. So you got that going on for you too. Things are beginning to unravel little by little, my friends. Podcast going up a little bit. We got lots more guests coming up the next few days. Don't miss it. It's going to be a great time. Until then, be your own voice of reason. This is the Voice of Reason. Happy Post Monday. Everybody have a great Tuesday afternoon. Hey, it's Andy Hooser with the Voice of Reason. Fighting for conservative principles seems more difficult all the time. The progressive left seems to find new and creative ways to limit freedom, abuse power, and trample the Constitution each and every day. That's why we need the knowledge, resources, and common sense to push back, and we can help with that. Visit our website at HooserReason.com. There's some really great stuff for you. You can read the latest blog discussing topical issues and current events. Let us know your thoughts by filling out our monthly survey. Keep track of what I might be doing or where I may be speaking. Listen to the podcast of your favorite guest or show, and check out our latest Voice of Reason product infomercials. Plus, you can find upcoming show schedules and guest lineups to plan your radio listening appropriately. And finally, make sure to become a Hoosier-holic by subscribing to the free newsletter. Stay up to date on the latest news of the show, fun facts of the month, and learn new ways to defend and preserve this great republic. It's all there at HooserReason.com. Again, HooserReason.com. Go check it out. Why? Because it's kind of the reasonable thing to do.